Yeah. We thank God for another Sunday where truth for victorious living is rightly coming your way. Thank you if you are already online. And if you are not on, I know you would have the opportunity to come on and study. Truth for victorious living come your way on YouTube every Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And our intent on YouTube is to make sure you are able to align with the earth for you to be able to fulfill your destiny here. God planted us here to flourish, and He created the earth not to be wasted. So it requires that the human being who became the expectation of the earth for it to fulfill its assignment would not take the earth for granted. You already know that the earth contains basically anything and everything that we would ever require physically to make our lives meaningful here. But for lack of understanding and lack of appreciation of what God has endowed us with, we have taken so many things for granted. So, this is an opportunity for us to go through scriptures, to go through life essentials, to be able to understand how we can make the most of our existence here on earth. God wants us to be here and He wants us to fulfill our days. So I pray that you would find time week after week to join this broadcast. It's just a little over 30 minutes will be enough for us to study today. But I know I will be able to bring to your attention very essential notes that will help you to enjoy your life on earth. I've taken time over the weeks to let you see that your greatest advantage on earth is provided through the spirit of fatherhood. You know that everybody needs a guide to be able to find a place on earth. Even in the world of business, in the world of science, in the world of technology, you would need somebody to hold your hand and introduce you to the system for you to be able to function effectively. No man was created to be an island. So, in every area of human endeavor, there is established a chain of fatherhood or, or mentorship, as we call it in the world, that is designed to make sure we would be able to have the experience necessary of making it on it. I've shown you how Esau, in spite of all the things that were against him, he was able to succeed in life. Everything, if go back and play the previous week's tapes and see. So almost everything that life could offer to a human being as an advantage was against him. But because he was connected to the root of success on earth, which is the spirit of fatherhood. I make mention of that because I don't want you to forget Jeremiah 3:19, where a question was asked by the Lord, how would he put you among his children and give you a pleasant portion of this earth? That means gives you the desires you are looking for. He just offered a simple answer. Call me father and don't turn back. Call me your father and don't turn back. That means that spirit of fatherhood is the key that opens this arena called the earth for us to be able to have our portion and also enjoy our lives. Remember, the only commandment with a promise is the commandment of honoring fathers and mothers. Honor your father and your mother so that it will be well with you here on earth and for you to live long. So, this is the primary key. But you see, I want to show you one of the things that the father introduced uh, Esau too, that he took so serious and it worked for him. Because you can be on earth, but until you know what you carry. You see, God didn't create even two leaves on the same tree with the same design. So, in the same way, every individual has his or her own unique identities. You need to appreciate that. Because remember, when Esau and Jacob were born, one was for the field and the other was for the tent. They were not the same. They came from the womb on the same day, but they came with unique characteristics that made them suitable in the place where they belong. So after Jacob had taken the blessing and Esau had come pleading with the father, in Genesis 27, let me read the verse number 40 in the King James Version, the old King James Version, right? No, normally I read the New King James, but today let me read that verse 40. And said, and by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion. Take note of that. That thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So, this is the brother who has been given, let's call it the best portion that we call blessing. This is the guy who is going for the leftover. How could he make it in a world where everything seemed to be a challenge and a limitation? The father advised him in verse 40 of Genesis 27. Number one, don't change your original identity. You were born for the soul. Live by the soul. Don't change your original identity. You were born for the sword. This is Esau. Don't change it for anything. Because somebody is prospering in expressing his unique identity, don't let it cause you to change who you are. Follow your course. You were born with the sword. Live by it. Then he said, don't force yourself to change that which is established. Thou and shalt serve thy brother. You know, from the womb, that was the order that was set. By you selling away your heritage, you got into servitude. By apportioning blessing to Jacob, Isaac has instructed that all his brothers, I didn't know if he had other brothers that were not mentioned in scripture, because he wasn't only referring to Jacob, he was referring to all his other brothers were to serve him. This is the established order. Listen to me carefully. You see, most of us are engaged in unnecessary warfare. I call it warfare of competition. You want to let somebody lose his position so you will take over. It doesn't work like that. He said, thou shalt serve thy brother. Let the structure continue. Don't force to change it. Why? The forces that are to the advantage of your brother concerning that which has been entrusted to him, you cannot fight them. You can't go back to the womb and restructure destiny. You can't. You can't. Hallucination can't take you to the past and give you a better future. You can't go back and undo the pottage that you sold. You can't. You can't change the order of my prayer that I have pronounced upon this boy Jacob. You can't. You can't change it. Maintain your level. Live who you are and live according to the structure that is set. Do that with one anticipation. Yes, today you are a slave. But if you come into reality of the understanding of this anticipation, you are going to break the yoke of your neck. Are you learning something? You see, so many of us are engaged in unnecessary battles. Well, I want to be like them. I want to overtake that. Don't. Come to this realization. And that's where I want us to emphasize. Genesis 27:40. And it shall come to pass. Let me explain a little bit there. That phrase, it shall come to pass, simply means that this earth, this universe in which you live, periodically offers us opportunities to restructure that which is. Remember, I have told you, go by the structure. You didn't set it, go by it. But this universe, it shall come to pass, means something will be worked out, or something is working itself out. And if you notice it and you take advantage of it, the structure itself will play to your advantage. Do you know, if people understand this, a lot of the things we are fighting for, we will stop and seek to monitor when the structural readjustment is taking place. Are you listening to me? It's something that you need to appreciate. You don't fight the status quo. You wait for the opportunity life brings. So he's saying, in that opportune process, something is going to be introduced to you. If you are able to take advantage of it, you will break his yoke from off thy neck. What is it? He said, and thou shalt have the dominion. So, dominion is not necessarily a concept. Listen to me carefully. Dominion is not necessarily a concept. It's not even necessarily something you practice, but it is a domain in which you are brought, so that if you get the appropriate understanding, the structure is changed, shifted to your advantage. It has fallen upon you in the right place, and everything begins to work to your advantage now. It's a domain. When you shall have the dominion, that domain which requires your understanding, you are going to shift the system, change the structures, and it's not going to be by your effort, but you will see yourself in prominent position for success. So today things are not working well for you. Today things are not going the way you expect. Your anticipation should not be how to fight the system or how to break somebody's neck so you get what you want. The expectation should be, Lord, introduce me to that domain of dominion. When you get there, the structure itself changes and you gain the advantage now. I'm speaking to somebody and you must listen. I'm speaking to somebody and you must listen. You see, so there is a domain called the domain of dominion. You might not have heard it like this before, so take your time and listen. It's a domain, it's an enclave, it's a spiritual space that if you are brought into, all things begin to work together for your good. All things. That is the domain where your past ceases to dominate you and you are able to walk out into a glorious future. It is a domain. It is a domain. It is like an enclave which serves as a factory of transformation. Once you enter into it and you have the proper understanding, you come out and you are in authority. It's a domain. It's a domain. That domain of dominion is what I am introducing you to today. So instead of fighting, why not seek access into this domain? Genesis 1, verse number 26. Hope you are learning. And today I think I'm teaching something very important. So those who would have the opportunity to listen, to hear, to enjoy this privilege, please take advantage. Let's stop the fighting and start the seeking. The domain, I tell you, is available. Genesis 1:26. I'm reading from the New King James Version. Back to my text, right? Yes. Then God said, let us make man in our image, according to our likeness, and let them have dominion. That is the portion I want you to understand. Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness, and let them have dominion. Remember Genesis 27, verse 40, where I read from the beginning of this broadcast. I told you that Isaac advised Esau concerning this. When you have come to the place of dominion, the yoke will break off and you will be your true self, living to express the reality that is in you. So the problem is, what is this dominion about? What is it about? Yes, God said, let us make man. Yes, you are man, but you don't have the dominion. If you read Hebrews chapter number 2, yes, Hebrews chapter number 2, from verse number 6 downwards, you will discover that man wasn't in dominion again. He had to struggle to get his place. But here is God bringing us to the understanding that there is a domain that can transform your destiny with authority and put you into the place that God intended for you to be. Today, you might be out of job, but that is not the end of life. Today, there might be no food on your table, but that is not the end of life. What you need to seek is to seek this place called dominion. You see, dominion as a domain, as a space, consists of three basic things. Listen to me carefully. I'm not talking dominion as when you have faith. You have it, that's why you are listening to me. But dominion as a domain with understanding comprises number one, order. ORDER, order. Things don't work haphazardly. In the domain of dominion, things are structured to work according to order. ORDER. Number two, that domain called dominion is for the responsible. Take note of that second word. Responsible. RESPONSIBILITY. Those who are ready to respond to the ability that they discover in themselves. Responsibility. Number one, order. Number two, responsibility. And number three, that domain called dominion consists of structures. Structures. You know, when you, if you did a little bit of science, you know that even atom, the minutest matter particle in the universe, consists of structures. Everything consists of structures, or else you can't make meaning out of it. So these three words, if you want to understand how dominion operates in the domain, the realm of dominion, order, responsibility, and structures. Let's go to the book of Job, and I'm going to read three portions of scripture to let you see how this plays out. in questions that were asked by God when he came face to face with Job, who was lamenting and crying over his calamity. Let's start from verse 9, Job 38. Are you ready? Listen to God. Job 38, I'm reading verse 9 to 11 to let you see order in God's creative system. He said, when I made the clouds, the garment, and thick darkness, a swaddling band, when I fixed my limit for it and set bars and doors, when I said, this far you may come, but not further, and here your proud waves must stop. See how order is structured amongst the elements of the world. I made the cloud as a covering. I moved on to make limits and bars and doors. He set things in order. You see, one of the secrets about us as human beings that make us enter into the realm of dominion and enjoy it is our ability to plan. Planning simply means putting things in order. So every human being who hasn't come to the understanding or the necessity of planning is not ready for transformation. I plan to be here and I'm here. I didn't jump to be here. I came to this place where I am speaking so many minutes ago to make sure everything is in order. So in Job 38, 9 through 11, God is telling us in the realm of dominion, things are set in order. Understand that. Understand that. Get yourself to that. Be a planner. Don't only set goals. You see, goals can be mere wishes without a plan. This earth, you need a plan. That is why you don't jump into your field to plant seed just one day and you are planted. There is a period of clearing the land, weeding, a period of preparing the ground, a period of planting the seed, and periods of watering. When you jump this, okay, me, I won't weed the ground. I will start watering. You will harvest more weeds. You will just put the land to waste. So order must bring us to the place of knowing that for us to enter into the state of dominion, we have to learn planning. Go learn that. You need it. Take your time, read the life of Esau. He was a meticulous planner. Meticulous planner. He knew how to put systems in place to be able to create kingdoms. He created 11 kingdoms, each independently operating but cooperating together for the purpose of the set man. Are you learning? Number two is responsibility. Let me read Job chapter 38 again. I'm picking these scriptures here for you to see that there are certain things that we must know if we can change the status quo. When the world finds you like this, it begins to create room and opportunities for you to access. You don't fight to get your space. You don't. You don't. You don't. You don't. Job 38 from verse number 12. Responsibility. He said, have you commanded the morning since your days began and caused the dawn to know its place? Listen, the morning wants to begin the day. The morning wants to begin the day. The dawn wants to land at its place, but it must be commanded. It must be commanded. There is a requirement of responsibility for that which even is to be. Oh, what is written is written. Let it go. It will be time to weeds. Responsibility. How are we responding to the ability of the day and the ability of the dawn to be able to bring us that which we are requiring? Have you commanded? Have you taken responsibility? Verse number 13, that it might take hold of the ends of the earth and the wicked be shaken out of it. Responsibility is the expression of your diligence towards an assignment. And do you know that the hand of the diligent can break the yoke of poverty? Yes, responsibility. You see, our kind of Christianity has become a training ground for many people to be irresponsible. Why? We have been trained to sit down and wait for destiny helpers. I don't think any destiny helper would want to come and shower whatever he's carrying upon a slothful person. A slothful person. We have been trained to shout, I receive, and we think we have it. We have not been trained to hit the ground with the axe. So we will turn the soil to produce the miracle through the process. We have been trained for the shortcut. I believe I receive. I believe I receive. Yes, it has its place. But when it comes to the place where we want this world to change the structures and put us in the place where we will be elevated, it is waiting for responsible people. People who can command. Because it is by responsibility that the wicked will be shaken out of this world. Imagine a country where every citizen is waiting for the government to come and do things for them. Mr. Government, we don't have water. Mr. Government, we don't have toilet. Mr. Government, we don't have. Where are the responsible community leaders? Where are they? They will stay there for centuries and they will always be crying for need. Responsibility is the step you take so that you will be part of the process of meeting the needs you are looking for. You've gone to school, you have the grades, you have the certificates. You still have to be responsible to take a pen to write an application. You have to go search for the website of the work you are looking for and fill in their required forms. You would have the responsibility to go for the interview, to be questioned and you answering before you will be considered ready. And even if you are taken, you have the responsibility to arise in the morning and be there at the time appointed and not to leave until the time of exit happens. The time when job must be completed is before you leave. Responsibility. Responsibility. Life has no room for irresponsible people. You can't sit down and expect you become a perpetual beggar. And Jesus said it, to beg, I am ashamed. To beg, I am ashamed. God has given you all the abilities you need. Don't don't respond to the ability of someone else. Oh, I want to be like Messi. Me here, I am not loaded with that which is in Messi. I'm telling you. Messi had an opportunity recently to go to one big team in the Saudi land. Big team doing very well with big money. You know what he chose? He chose rather a team in America, Miami, that was the last team amongst all the teams in America. 29 teams, they were number 29. He came on, and in 6 weeks, because he was responding to the abilities in him, he gave this team a push to the top. Discover your abilities and respond to the abilities you have. If you have ability to talk like I do, don't let anybody shut your mouth. Talk like I'm talking. I'm alone in the house, came from church, but I'm still talking. I drove over an hour in, talk for more than an hour, drove back an hour. I'm still here talking. Give me more time. If you can only have the data, I will talk, because I know that is the ability in me. And I don't talk trash. I talk to build you up so that you will be significant on earth. Remember, number one is order. That is planning. Number two is responsibility. Responding to the ability in you. Ha! My son in Norway, the wife, did how do you call it? Home economics in Ghana. So she cooks very good food. You can eat that woman's food anytime. And she was always in the kitchen. The time I visited them, always cooking something new for you to eat, something new for you to eat, always. But you know what happened? In this summer, they didn't go to Ghana, so they were opportune to be there. They discovered that going to Ghana during summer was depriving this woman the opportunity to enter into the market of tourism in Norway. Today, you know what they do? Wherever there are programs and events, they go prepare food. This woman knows how to do it. She has prepared shito, Africa, Ghana shito, so well to the taste that the whites are booking to buy it. White people booking to buy shito. She didn't know. So every summer they will pack back and baggage, go walk around Ghana and come back with the children. This year they didn't go and they discovered this market. So wow. So all these years, this opportunity was there, and we were not responding to the ability that is in my wife. The woman cooks, the man now is the seller. It's 50 krona here, 20 krona here, but by the close of the 3 days program, they are counting thousands of krona. What ability are you responding to? Number three, let me finish. Number three, I've told you, is structure. In the realm of dominion, structure must be respected. Let me quickly read Job 38, 31 through 33. Structure, structure, structure is the platform that helps you to integrate things and make them work in unison. So Job 38, 31 to 33 said, can you bind the cluster of the Pleiades or loose the belt of Orion? I'm reading from the New King James Version. Can you bring out Mazaroth in its season? Or can you guide the great bear with its cubs? Verse 33. Do you know the ordinances of the heavens? And can you set their dominion over the earth? As I sit here and you are listening to me, you think it is me alone. No, I have what they call it. Something here, a machine here that is blinking at me, blinking at me. It is playing a role. I have a microphone here that I am using. I have an iPad here before me. I have a laptop here. I have a camera here. All things are working together to make sure I'll be able to communicate to you. This happens in the form of a structure. I can't plug the microphone to the iPad straight and get it to this laptop for you to see me live on YouTube. It has to go through the process, connecting to the right things that would give it the privilege of engagement. And then finally, you hear me wherever you are. Structures are in place. See what the Lord is telling us here. Calling for diverse elements and bringing them to play so that you will be a person of authority on earth. This is what wisdom does. You can never have dominion here until you are endowed with the wisdom to be able to engage structures, to be able to get the desired result. This is necessary for us to learn. Dominion is not just shouting, I'm in dominion, I have dominion. No, no, no. Stop it. You need order, you need responsibility, and you need appreciation of structures. This is what the Lord wants me to teach you today. Sit back. If you need to take your books and learn, you need to consult somebody. Get engaged. Get engaged. Stop that one man thing. As for me, when I pray, things happen. Things happen. Yes, I know. But pray and make things happen without following the system. How God has structured these things. Never seen any man hide himself in a room, pray for 72 hours, and money started dropping on his bed. Never. I've never seen. If you have seen somebody like that, I have not. The miracle of money, the miracle of money is worked out through a process. The miracle of significance is worked out through a process. Being faithful to order, being faithfully responsible, and faithfully engaging the necessary structures will always bring you on top. Not that everybody is doing it, I'm going to do it. Everybody is running, I'm running. No, no. Maybe your feet were not created to run. Look for what they were created to do and engage them. I have the same feet like Messi have. I like the boy, that's why I use him for reference. I have the same forehead like Elon Musk has. I have the same forehead like Elon Musk has. But I'm not counting the billions he is taking with his pen in his closet now. I'm not. He is responding to his ability. Let me leave him alone and let me also respond to my ability. We may not see the fruit of mine today, but with the gift of this internet, all these messages are going to be stored onto eternity. One day, maybe 50 years, 100 years, 200 years to come, one small man will have the opportunity of getting into this same video you are listening to, and it will trigger something in him, and it can bring a revival in the world. This earth doesn't accommodate, should I use the word slothful people? Let me use a very noble, because I'm going to use the word destitute. This earth doesn't accommodate slothful people. It takes the hand of the diligent to create wealth. People who follow order. You don't listen to anybody. You are not under, I'm not under law. I'm not. Yes, nobody says be under law, but follow the order. I love to be in America, and I think if there is there is an opportunity for me to go and come back, this time I'll tell God, don't go and drop me in Ghana first. Come and drop me here, prepare me, and take me there to help them. Why? Because there is order. There is order. I've driven for almost 8 years, 8 years on the road, because I came with my driver's license from Ghana. It was allowed for me to start driving. So I drove here before the following month, 3 months, I got my American driver's license. I've been driving since 2016 in this land of America. I can count the number of times I have blown the horn of my car. I can count it. Not more than 3. 2016 up to now. Go to Osu, Accra. There's a place called Osu this time, and see the cars going. The noise of car horns can even disturb you until you become crazy. Why? There is no order. You don't progress if there is no order. Let order be in your life. Please be responsible. Yes, destiny helpers are there, but be yourself. Put yourself up to also help the earth to flourish. Those who climb, who are climbing a good tree, are those that we must support. Not those who are lying under the tree and crying. Wake them up and say, the tree is there waiting for you to climb. If he refuses to climb, don't help him. One day, Bishop Ankuma told us this story in church because he said it in church. That's why. He said a young man came to him that his wife had been admitted at the hospital, going to deliver, so he must help him. So, oh, okay, bro, this is good news. I will help you. But you know the job I do? I clean gutters. So if you will let me employ you in cleaning gutters, you will have enough money not only to bring your wife out of the hospital, but also to take care of them when they are discharged. The young man looked at this big man and said, me clean gutters. The man you're going to take money from is a gutter cleaner, but you don't want to clean gutters. I said, okay, the money I'll give you is gutter money, so you can clean gutters, go. Responsible. Irresponsible. And somebody has given his daughter to such a person to marry. I'm being hard because this world, you are not hard, you can't make it. So don't forget these three things: order, responsibility, and structures. I didn't learn from here. The Lord taught me, and I'm teaching you for free. Order, responsibility, and structures. Follow it. Don't jam the system. Get there. God bless you. God bless you. Next week, I'll come your way again. You know, I have a lot to teach. That's what I live for. That's what I've been programmed for. That is what has kept me being empowered day by day to be able to do this. You know, I can talk out until Jesus comes. He tarries. But today, let me end you here. I know some people were online. Diana, Abronoma, yeah, my own Rev were online. Keep learning. Keep learning. I'm going to share. It's now that I've finished that I'm going to share for people to also come and learn. But come back and listen. The more you listen, the more it builds up that capacity in you. And you will surely become. If you will have the dominion, you will break the yoke off your neck. And it's going to happen. Kofi Mensah, you are welcome. Yes, my own son Kofi Ahin was online too. Kofi, yeah. So let's meet again next week on YouTube Live. But don't forget Tuesday, 2 p.m. GMT, Thursday, 2 p.m. GMT. I'm coming your way. This week, it is God's wish, but I'm going to teach you after these things. What are the things that you would need to know so that the wish of God will happen before your life and you take up the responsibility? So Tuesday, 2 p.m., Thursday, 2 p.m. I'm here for you for free. Here for you for free. So learn as much as you have. You can have me all the rest of my life, but if you don't learn, no use. So God bless you. God honor you. God come to you in your sleep and keep reminding you by the voice of his angel, the one who teaches, and let you know that there is profit on earth